Good day everyone, Brayden here coming to you from EPCOT Center. I'm using the old name today because this is no ordinary EPCOT Overhaul Construction update vlog. Of course, we'll be taking a look at all the latest progress. It looks like demolition work is well underway now, finally, on that remaining portion of Innovations West, and over at Innovations East, construction has finally begun. So I'm very excited for us to take a look at all of that. And then of course, we'll see how much construction is going on at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, as well as over at Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Maybe get some insight into when we can expect those to open. The reason this EPCOT video is a little extra special is because I will be seeing for the first time with the walls down that original EPCOT Center fountain having returned at long last to the entrance to the park. This will be the first time I've ever seen it, of course, because I never actually did see it in its original form because it was removed before I was born. So without further ado, let's head into the park. Such a beautiful day here in EPCOT. Here you can see the entrance plaque, the repainted ticket booths. They also repainted the ticketing area over here with those new entrance signs. They still have some holiday decor up from the Festival of the Holidays, but as you can see on the other side, they have just put up the Festival of the Arts decor on the main planter there, with the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts beginning January 8th. All right, everyone, here we are. And there it is, the completed EPCOT fountain having returned here to the entrance to EPCOT. The reimagined entrance promenade now really returning to its original spirit with those awesome prisms in the middle. Just looks so good. The running water, just such a cool fountain to look at. And I think the proof is really in the pudding here, just how many people are getting their photos taken with the EPCOT fountain. I'm sure if you follow any Disney stuff, you've been seeing all sorts of photos of this fountain at day, at night, all the time. Guests are always over here taking photos of it. This fountain is one of those things where if you were at any normal corporation and you looked at it as, what does this do for us? It's not a food booth, it's not a roller coaster. What is the point in spending all this money on bringing back this fountain? It really is the seemingly useless, beautiful things that are added to the park like this that really make it a place worth going and a place that people remember. A lot of people might be going to EPCOT originally to go check out Frozen Ever After and ride that attraction, but when they think back on their trip, it's the things that they didn't expect that they are going to remember the most. They're gonna say, what was that ride with that purple dragon? What was that park where we took that photo in front of those really cool prisms? It's really the things like this that you don't expect on your trip that make Walt Disney World so unique and really make it a place worth going to again and again and again. I'm just so proud of Disney for having the wherewithal to actually go through with putting the money, the time, the investment into bringing back this fountain, because it really is the things like this that make Walt Disney World so awesome. It's all the little details, like even over here on the ground, they just added these new EPCOT themed manhole covers. Like, how much did that cost to do, right? Custom manhole covers, like who's even looking at that in the park? But it really is those beautiful details that make it more than just a place where you go and ride attractions. It's something more, it's a themed environment, it's something that you'll remember for years and years and years and want to go experience again. If you look at the prisms, the sun is refracting through them onto the pavement, making this cool prism effect. Let's look at this. It's just so awesome, man. Some details up close here looking at the fountain. On the base of it, there's this really cool geometric pattern that goes all the way around it. And on the back underside of the base of the fountain, you can see there's actually some tile work in there. Just another one of those really cool details. And you can see there's already a good amount of change that has been thrown into the fountain here. Probably people making wishes, things of that nature. I can imagine this becoming a little bit like It's a Small World with a lot of change on it. I don't know if the change will look good up on this part. You can see there's definitely a few pennies over here already. I'm really excited to see this at night. If you actually notice on the inside, you can see the lights that light up this fountain at night. But before we get to that, we have a whole park of news to cover. So let's head over to Guardians of the Galaxy and see what's going on with the construction progress. We're just after New Year's here, and you can see the lines for Spaceship Earth are very low. We have some pretty low crowds in the parks right now. You can see ahead of me the completely open inside of what used to be Innovations East, and this area is now going to be, I believe, a new restaurant that'll be sort of part of the Dreamers Point area here on the backside of Spaceship Earth. There's going to be a restaurant in there, and I think that might be where the Club Cool offering will be returning with the free refreshments. If you remember, Disney said that would be part of EPCOT in the future. Maybe that'll go over there. I really can't think of where else they would put it. Let me know what you guys think. Over here at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, right now you can see on the roof, since the last time I was here, they've added that plywood. As you can hear behind me, there is construction going on over there. There's actually a worker up on the roof right now. And further down on the building here, you see that box, that piece of scaffolding. That's where the NovaCorp ship is going to go. We really can't see in there right now because the EPCOT monorail still has yet to resume operation. But there's probably something going on there as they are furbishing the outside, where you're gonna have the planter, and then you're going to have the NovaCorp ship itself. And then where we used to be able to see into the building itself where they were refurbishing the queue, now you can't anymore because now there's steel framing up for the facade where they're going to be putting on that plaster, that stucco, which is going to complete the front of the facade there and really make it look nice. Great to see the progress over here at Guardians of the Galaxy. And then next door, we have the Play Pavilion. Now, as far as what I know about this gold dome and this project, I believe this project is paused. Work on the Play Pavilion itself. It's going to be this interactive area where you're going to have meet and greets, you're going to have some exhibits and some cool stuff to check out. It looks like it's mostly geared towards kids, but I do think they are going to try to make it appeal to people of all ages. Obviously, the nature of it having to do with interactive exhibits and interacting with probably digital screens and things like that, there's probably a health-related reason why Disney has put this project on pause, not wanting to open it with the current policies you have here in the parks, where obviously that sort of interactive stuff is not happening. It's not something that Disney can do. But the other reason I think this project is paused is just money related. And the weird thing is we did see progress in the second half of this year, visible work on the exterior with them switching out the original gold tiles with those new tiles, which I wouldn't even really call tiles. It looks like there's some sort of plastic or aluminum, some sort of weather sealing that has actually been added to the dome. We've always heard it's had water issues with it leaking and things like that. Whatever they did here with the dome, it should no longer leak on the inside. I think that's what all this work here was for. But since they did that, we have not seen any further work beyond that. And I suspect the reason why is because the project is paused and work on the inside is paused. Right when the parks originally closed last March, there were permits filed for set installation on the inside here. You know, they're gonna have that digital city effect on the inside. I do believe a lot of those sets were not installed and are currently sitting in storage somewhere due to the fact that this project is paused. So that's what's going on with the Play Pavilion. We'll continue to monitor that. And then over here next to Mission Space, we have the future Space 220 restaurant. Now, the last time I was here, there were a bunch of walls over on this side completely blocking off the area where you're going to enter the restaurant. Those have been removed now. Now there's just a small box covering the signage that's going to be on the front of the building directing people over to the restaurant. And then also where you actually enter the restaurant up the ramp there, there's a piece of signage up there as well, which was exposed and some people got a photo of, but now it's been covered by a black trash bag by the looks of it. As to when this project will be complete or the Space 220 restaurant will open remains to be seen, but something we should know is it looks like they have added the physical distancing markers along the path here, along where you're going to enter the restaurant. So it seems as though Disney's getting prepared for the opening of this restaurant. They're getting everything ready on the outside here. When it's going to open, we really don't know, but I guess we'll just have to keep an eye out for that news. Looking from Mission Space back over the other direction, you can actually see all the way through to that last portion of Innoventions West that is now being demolished. So let's head over there and see what's going on. I've made it up to the beautiful fountains area here at the Imagination Pavilion. This is a great area because there's really nobody up here usually because the leaping fountains are off as a physical distancing precaution. And also, it is the best spot to see all the work happening in the middle of the park, where we have this crater right now in the middle of Future World. And looking into the middle right now, you can see just how much work and how much of the building has been demolished throughout December over here at Innoventions West. It's really good to see how well this is all coming apart, really getting rid of the building, it seems like, pretty efficiently. And then once this Innoventions West building is removed, I think that we are indeed going to see that Moana Journey of Water attraction come to the area here, because the Moana Journey of Water attraction is something that's likely going to bring with it some greater interest in Epcot as a park, with a lot of Moana fans, of course, wanting to check it out. And also, it'll be really cool to have another water feature here in the park. I mean, Disney put all that money into the Epcot Fountain, right? So it seems to follow, especially with the IP tie-in here, that we will continue to see that trend and we will get the Moana Journey of Water attraction. But we'll see what happens there. I'm more excited about what's going on over at Innoventions East, because the thing with Innoventions East is it seems like it's just been completely gutted and the inside's just been open and there really hasn't been much going on. Now some new glass panes have been installed at the new Mouse Gear location. You know, they're refurbishing Mouse Gear, they're redoing the entire thing. They're even replacing the windows themselves, the utilities on the inside. They've been doing a lot of work in there with welding we've seen going on the inside, some structural work on the building. They've definitely been doing a lot on the inside where the Mouse Gear location is going to return to in the future. We don't know if the new store is going to be called Mouse Gear. It really doesn't seem gear themed in the concept art. The concept art, it really does look like a pretty bland store. Obviously, it's adopting that idea of if the store is very empty and bland, if it looks like an Apple store, then the guest focus will be on the products themselves, which of course is what Disney wants your attention to be on, so they'll sell more products. That's sort of, I think, the merchandising theory behind why we're seeing a lot of these stores throughout Walt Disney World property get a more bland or very streamlined or modern, whatever word you want to use, appearance on the inside. But the thing is, this is a theme park, so having some themed gift shops that really, you know, are actually a cool place to be in all of their own, regardless of the merchandise, I think is really what Disney should be doing. But they are going this direction by the looks of it. So that's what's going on with Mouse Gear. Really good to see that they're actually doing some construction on the inside. And then also over at Innoventions East, you also have that other half where we're really not sure what the layout is going to be with that area. We know that there's going to be a new restaurant over there, replacing the electric umbrella. And of course, there's also a whole other section to Innoventions East over there, where the current temporary Mouse Gear is located on the back of the Innoventions East building over by Guardians of the Galaxy. So Disney definitely has a lot of space to work with here with Innoventions East, and they have a lot of space to work with over here at Innoventions West. The question really is, does Disney want this much space to work with, given the current financial situation? And now Disney has to figure out what to do with it. So we'll keep watching this center area. Let me know what you guys think. Now we're gonna head over to the World Showcase because we have a very high budget piece of equipment in the middle of the World Showcase Lagoon that we have some news about. Heading over to the World Showcase here, you can see this giant EPCOT logo with the new Festival of the Arts design on it. This is some of the Festival of the Arts decor that was installed overnight here at EPCOT, with the festival beginning in a few days. Oh my gosh, guys, I can already see that giant harmonious barge out there on the World Showcase Lagoon. Here it is. You can even see there's that little informational placard that they've put. We're used to watch Illuminations here explaining how they are reimagining the future with this new show, Harmonious, which will feature all sorts of intellectual properties. This new show here on the Seven Seas Lagoon. Look at that barge out there. This is what it looks like to the human eye. Over there, you can actually see the crane. That's the crane that is actually putting together the rest of the barges. We still have 3 more that need to come out here of the LED screen type. And then there's going to be another barge in the center here that has this large circular gate on it. Hey, I have to say, on the bright side, with this giant barge in the middle of the World Showcase Lagoon, seeing it now here in person, these barges are going to be a size where from anywhere around the World Showcase Lagoon, you are very easily going to be able to see what is on those screens. There is not going to be any, you know, having to look really closely or zoom in on your iPhone or anything like that. A lot of people had trouble from certain angles seeing the globe. The news over here is that today, Blog Mickey spotted some technicians working on the screen itself. The screen was on one section, and you could see that there were some pixels that looked like they weren't lighting up, some of the LEDs on the LED boards that make up that screen. So it looks like they were trying to fix those. As we know, with these big LED screens and these barges, you're going to have broken pixels. So that's a look at the Harmonious barge here in the middle for the new nighttime spectacular coming to EPCOT. We don't know when this is going to premiere, but as I said in our What's Coming to Walt Disney World in 2021 video, I believe from some sources and other things that we could be looking at a spring opening for this show, provided that those barges get finished that are back at the marina right now with the crane working on them there. Now let's go see what's going on with Remy's Ratatouille adventure. All right, it's Skyliner time. From the Skyliner, there isn't a whole lot new to see at Ratatouille. It really does look like it's completely done. Looking down the pathway, everything looks so nice. You can see the fountain is actually running. I spotted that. It really looks like it's ready to go. All the decor, all the finishing touches, all the signage, even the wait time signage over by where you're going to enter over here at the France Pavilion from the front. Really, everything seems ready to go. It really just seems like a matter of taking the walls down, getting those ride cars moving, and getting guests on the attraction. When that'll be is really a question of when Disney wants to get this attraction open. Also, something interesting back here, Disney's been testing the audio back here, which is going to play some different tunes, the soundtrack of Ratatouille, which is going to be really awesome. And I think that's just going to be playing on the back side and on the side here, not on the front of the France Pavilion. So the idea is on the front of the France Pavilion, it's more of the real life culture, and as you go to the back, it's more of that cartoon world, as you have that sort of sight line in the background where you have the two-dimensional, more cartoon style French architecture finishing off that Ratatouille look on the back. As you can see behind me here, the sun is starting to set by the France Pavilion here, and we are going to head over to the front of the park to see what the new EPCOT Fountain looks like at night. Let's see it.
As the sun sets behind the Eiffel Tower, EPCOT Center takes on a magical, dreamlike beauty all its own. the lights come on to be reflected in the shimmering surface of Spaceship Earth. On the dedication plaque are these words: "May EPCOT Center entertain, inform, and inspire. And above all, may it instill a new sense of belief and pride in man's ability to shape a world that offers hope."
So everyone, that's your look at the EPCOT Center fountain here at night. What is there to say? It just looks absolutely awesome. There's a few different color schemes if you notice. There's this Spaceship Earth one where it looks a lot like the colors you have on Spaceship Earth. There's also one where it turns really blue, the ring around the fountain, and then there's also one where it sort of looks like the colors for World Nature, the new name for Future World West. I don't think that was intentional because there is no red one, you know, which would correspond with World Discovery, the other side. We know they're going to be doing even more lighting work here, probably changing how the fountain looks and doing different colors with it, as well as the LEDs that they are putting on Spaceship Earth itself. This is still an ongoing project, this new entrance promenade. They're gonna be adding even more lighting, and I'm very excited to see what exactly that's gonna look like. I feel like they could do different themes throughout the hour, you know what I mean? Like you had for the castle projections this past year for the holiday season in the Magic Kingdom. You probably noticed the spotlight. I really try to make it stand out on the video here. It's really hard to get on video and photos. You really have to do like a long exposure photograph to really get a good look at that spotlight, but in person it is very prominent. It looks really awesome. It actually ebbs and flows during some of the animation sequences, and you'll see the spotlights turning on and off, actually reflecting in the reflection of Spaceship Earth. You can see them going on and off. You see that? Just absolutely wild how great this looks. My only criticism would be it looks way better at night than it does in the daytime, which is sort of a compliment. But if you look at it in the daytime, the original EPCOT Center fountain you had here had that blue tile, which sort of gave it color during the day. It's funny, this EPCOT overhaul, a big part of it is, you know, adding so much color to the park. But if you really look at the center area, Disney repainted the Spaceship Earth legs silver instead of blue. And the fountain during the daytime, it's just cement, right? There really isn't much color there or anything like that. I think if they painted those two cement portions, you know, the platform that the prisms are on, as well as the geometric pattern that goes around the entire area, if they painted that blue or something like that, I feel like that would look good, but I'm assuming there's a reason they didn't. Perhaps that makes it not look as good at night because it just looks so good here. It was so great filming in Epcot these last 3 days. This took a while to film, getting all those time lapses and everything. Be sure to subscribe with those notifications on if you want to keep seeing content like this, these videos in the parks. I'll keep trying to improve the quality and bring you guys the best news, the best everything here in Walt Disney World. And I want to thank our patrons, especially a video like this. They really help out a lot. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at the EPCOT Center fountain and everything going on in this park. There's definitely a lot on the way, and this really isn't something where Disney can just, you know, put it on pause like they could maybe with Tron or something like that, where it's an addition in the Magic Kingdom. Here they're replacing stuff in Epcot, so we should see work continue here. There'll be a lot to cover this year, so make sure you don't miss any of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Brayden, live from Epcot. Have a magical day.